What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. The U.S. House of Representatives has the third stimulus check package bill. It has passed the Senate over the weekend. The Senate made several different changes and amendment to the bill. So the Senate has passed the third stimulus check package bill. It has now gone to the House of Representatives, who's been working on it today, setting up the rules and the procedures for the vote. I'm going to give you the latest details of that and some related news in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. And don't forget to smash the like button, and let's jump right in. The CDC has changed their guidelines for people that have been vaccinated and say that people can now safely gather indoors without masks. As you can see here, new guidelines from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, suggest it is safe for fully vaccinated people to gather indoors with each other without masks. The hotly anticipated guidance is limited and only aimed at what people are safe to do in private. Quote, if you and a friend or you and a family member are both vaccinated, you can finally have dinner together without wearing masks or social distancing. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky told reporters on Monday. In addition, vaccinated people can visit with someone in a single household who is unvaccinated without protections. The CDC said Americans are, quote, fully vaccinated once 2 weeks have passed since they received the final dose of their vaccine regimen. For vaccines by Moderna and Pfizer, that means the second of 2 shots. For the recently authorized Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine, it means 2 weeks after the first and only injection. The CDC now also recommends that vaccinated individuals do not need to quarantine or get tested even if they come into contact with someone who has the virus and do not develop symptoms. Walensky, however, noted that only a small percentage of the public has been vaccinated, so precautions need to be taken in public or around people who are vulnerable with the virus. Quote, while the new guidance is a positive step, many more people need to be fully vaccinated before everybody can stop taking the COVID-19 precautions. It is important that until then, everybody continues to adhere to important mitigation measures to protect the large number of people who remain unvaccinated. This comes as the United States has picked up their vaccination paces and has now averaged 2 million doses, or 2 million people being vaccinated every single day. Although remember, the 2 out of the 3 vaccines need 2 different shots about a month apart. Former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb says that it's probable that high school students will get their vaccines this year, although it won't be until the fall semester, basically the start of the new school year at the end of this year. And grade school children is unlikely to be able to get vaccinations at all this year in 2021. Senator Joe Manchin is the Democratic senator who basically held up the stimulus package, had the stimulus check income limits reduced and thus removed for about 15 million people. The income limits have been lowered from $100,000 to $80,000 of income for an individual. So individuals making over $80,000 will not receive a stimulus check unless they file as a single filer head of household. That costs about 15 million people their stimulus checks. The unemployment checks were lowered from $400 per week to $300 per week, and the minimum wage was taken out. And Joe Manchin is likely, dare I say, to blame for all 3 of those, at least the first 2. The minimum wage did have 8 different senators vote on against it, Democratic senators, but Senator Joe Manchin is kind of backpedaling and taking a lot of criticism across the entire United States right now.
Welcome back. Perhaps no Senate Democrat wields more power right now than Joe Manchin of West Virginia. It was Manchin, a Democrat reelected in an overwhelmingly pro-Trump state, who led the effort to narrow benefits and remove a minimum wage increase from the COVID relief bill. And he opposes the majority of his fellow Senate Democrats who want to get rid of the filibuster. In a moment, I'll talk to the number 3 Republican in the Senate, John Barrasso. But right now, I'm joined by Mr. 50 himself, Joe Manchin. Senator Manchin, welcome back to Meet the Press. And I want to get into the bit of drama before this bill passed. I think for most Americans, they might have missed it. But what were you fighting for? Why was this almost derailed the bill? Why was this the hill to die on for you?
Well, there's never a hill to die on, Chuck. Nobody wants to die. But first, let me just say thank you for having me. It's always great to be with you. And next of all, what had happened is there was a provision added. I guess they worked on tonight before. I had no idea. I thought we were going in one direction, and it came out another direction. These things happen when such a mammoth piece of legislation is put together. So I said, that's not something I can agree with. I don't think it's where we're going. It's what we're needing for put this package together in a very responsible way. So we started talking, and all of a sudden everything came to a halt because they realized I would not vote for the procedure or the process that was in place at that time. But there's never a hill to die on. We can fix everything if we just talk to each other and negotiate. That's what it's about. And that's what we did. It took a little longer than necessary, but we got it done.
President Biden even got involved. I know.
Now, you know me, I'm a realist. I'll blame Democrats as much as I will blame Republicans. I'm not buying what Joe Manchin's saying. The income requirements of 75,000 to 100,000 have been in place since forever. Those are the income requirements for the first stimulus check and the second stimulus check. And literally the day of the bill, Joe Manchin makes a stink and has it lowered from 100,000 to 80,000. Nothing had changed there. That had been set in place since the previous stimulus check. So now there's a 10 or 15 million Americans who are not going to get the third stimulus check that did get the first and second stimulus check, probably solely because of Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. So, and the unemployment was reduced by $400 per week to $300 per week, although they did include $10,200 of unemployment income that will not be taxable. That's for the 2020 year. If you've already filed your 2020 tax returns, you'll have to file an amended return to go back and claim basically probably an extra $1,000 or $2,000 for you, because your first up to $10,200 will now be not taxable. It has to be unemployment income. So the federal bonus money or the state unemployment money, the first $10,200 will not be taxable. So they did throw that sweetener in there, but they did lower the unemployment benefits from $400 to $300 per week. That's kind of a trade-off. I can understand that. But Joe Manchin was probably solely the only person in charge of getting the income requirements for the stimulus checks reduced that caught out, 10 or 15 million people, and was the main leader of not having the minimum wage raised in the Senate. Although we did get 58 people that voted against the minimum wage bill, all 50 Republicans voted no, and 8 Democratic senators led by Senator Joe Manchin. But none of those things were changed within the last 24 hours before the Senate voted on it. Those things were kind of all set in place the whole time. So I'm not really buying what he's saying, but you can let me know your thoughts in the comments.
And that's what we did. It took a little longer than necessary, but we got it done.
President Biden even got involved. I know that you two talked. What was that conversation? Did you get a promise out of him?
No, I don't. I've never done that. I don't ask for this or that for that. I just don't trade off that way. And there's no need to. I've always said this: if my country does well, my state of West Virginia, my beautiful state of West Virginia, will do well, Chuck. And we try to do that. So I've always had great conversations. I have the utmost admiration for President Biden. He's been my friend. He's our president. I want him to succeed, and I'm doing everything I can. I'm just trying to bring balance, just some balance. The responsible middle, we're still there. Mm-hmm. We're still there.
So how come you couldn't get two people that you normally can work with, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, to vote for this bill? Three of you usually see relief bills like this. You guys usually see things the same.
Well, let me say this. A lot of the things that I supported and a lot of the changes I was asking for and a lot of the changes in this bill came because of our gatherings and us working together. The Democrats and Republicans talking. We've been working together for over a month on this. And an awful lot of the things that I was able to, because of the position I'm in right now, was able to bring that forward to what they believed in, too. This piece of legislation has far-reaching I think, assets for the American public. We're helping everybody. There's no one missed in this piece of legislation, and I'm proud of it. Also, Chuck, on this legislation, this is the first time that we were able to put absolute direct targets on what needed to be fixed in America. Every city in America, every county in America, every municipality, every incorporated town is going to have a chance to control their own destiny, because we put infrastructure in this also,
Right.
in the state and in the state, municipal, and cities. It's going to be wonderful. They can fix sewers. They can fix water projects, everything.
Senator, it's interesting. You said that you made some changes here that basically were ideas that you got from your bipartisan working group. So why couldn't you get your Republican friends to support this bill? Did politics pull them back, you think?
Well, I think it was a big piece of legislation. I'm sure there was things. Maybe there was more things that they didn't think we need to go in the direction we did or as large as we did. But I know they knew that the American people were hurting. They sat down in earnest and started talking. They went over. They were the first group to meet with the president. And I think that we could have taken those negotiations a lot further. But that didn't happen. But we kept talking. We never quit talking to each other.
So yeah, basically Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is backpedaling a lot as his approval rating is literally plummeting in West Virginia as, well, he's being blamed for a lot of the problems with this package, the delays, the people being cut out of the checks, the unemployment being reduced, and, well, he's probably not having a good last couple days. The Democrats are getting closer and closer to getting rid of the filibuster rule in the Senate, which does require 60 votes in the Senate to pass most bills. Now, remember, they passed this third stimulus check package in the Senate with the budget reconciliation process, but they can only use that a few times per year. It's debated on how many times. It's said to be as much as 9 times that they can use it. But really, a lot of Democrats want to get rid of the filibuster rule completely, which would require only a simple majority of 50 or 51 votes in the Senate to pass every single bill going forward. And that's how the U.S. House of Representatives is. You only need one vote more than 50% to pass bills. This would make it so that all future stimulus packages, unemployment packages, the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, the $200 per month raise of Social Security, the $15,000 first-time home buyer credit, and the next stimulus package, all those could be passed with a simple majority in the Senate of 50 or 51 votes. So it would make things a lot easier to be passed in the Senate going forward. You wouldn't have these extra budget reconciliation processes to do that. And that's something that the Democrats are already considering getting rid of the filibuster right now. Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, asked about the progressive criticism over the filibuster, and he says there's truth to it. Unfortunately, we've reached that point, and if enough members in the Senate agree, we'll change the rules on the filibuster. The third stimulus check package bill is in the U.S. House of Representatives. It passed the Senate over the weekend, but the Senate amended and made all these changes, largely because of Senator Joe Manchin. The $15 an hour minimum wage is taken out. We kind of had a feeling that was going to happen too. So now it's a different bill. So even though the House passed it last week, the Senate passed a different version of the bill over the weekend that now is at the U.S. House of Representatives. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer says that they are working on the rules and the ground procedures. These are kind of procedures that need to be done before the vote in the U.S. House of Representatives. The U.S. House has been working on those today to set up a vote in the U.S. House of Representatives. They're actually still there on the floor at this moment. I will keep you up to date as soon as new information comes out and when we can expect a vote. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos on the third stimulus check package, as well as the next stimulus package coming called the Build Back Better package, which is an infrastructure package, but will have multiple different things of stimulus in there, as well as what else is coming after they pass this package, such as the minimum wage bill, the $200 per month Social Security increase, the $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, and the $15,000 home buyer credit. So I will keep you up to date on all those things, everything stimulus related. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. And me and my wife sell products on Amazon as well. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.